When we talk about leadership, it's important to remember that true leaders are not afraid to surround themselves with people of ability and then give them opportunities for greatness. This is a quote from Warren Wiersbe, where he tells us that true leaders are not afraid to surround themselves with people of ability and then give them opportunities for greatness. In chapter 9 of my book, I address the topic of being a leader and going the extra mile, where we don't just sit back and do nothing with what God has given us, but standing up and moving on and asking God for grace. When we look at leaders like Joshua and Daniel and David, we see certain traits in them. And I want you to think for a second of the people that God has surrounded you with, and how are you encouraging them to become who God has made them to be. True leaders need to, first of all, deal with the things that they face in terms of commitment and dedication. There needs to be that commitment from inside where you're like, I'm going to do this by the grace of God. So there's an inward aspect to leadership, and then there's an outward part to it. The inward part, what I mean by that is that these are the traits and attributes that a leader needs to have for himself. Now there's the traits or the characteristics that have to do with working with others, so like teamwork and so on and so forth. And I'm hoping that you will be a leader that doesn't just grow inwardly or doesn't just grow in the things that are helping you personally, but that you will also seek to grow in terms of working with other people. There's two traits or two attributes that I think are important for every leader: integrity and transparency. If a leader wants to be a great leader, then they better be transparent. They should seek to be able to stand and say, this is who I am, there's nothing I'm hiding from you. And one of the things I find interesting is that a great man without a great foundation will fall greatly when he falls, because his foundation is not solid enough. The leader needs to have that foundation. The other thing I would say about integrity is that when you do things, so you're doing the right thing even when people are not watching you. A couple went to a fast food restaurant once, and this is just I'm going to paraphrase the story, but they left and they got a bag that had money in it instead of what they wanted. And so they drove all the way back to the store, and they gave it back to them and said, no, you gave us the wrong bag. You gave us a bag full of money, or with money instead of the snacks that we wanted to buy. Now that's something that many people will not do today. But a true leader should have integrity, where they stand for what is right even when nobody's watching them. But they do it not to please others, not to impress others, but they do it because it's right and because it brings honor and praise to God. So I pray that we'll be leaders that stand firm, that if we choose to go the extra mile, to be leaders that will be dedicated, will be focused. And finally, let me say this: all of us should seek to make a difference. No matter where God has placed us, we should look for ways to encourage those that He brings into our lives, and we should make a difference in our little world, and in our little corner, because in doing that, we'll be following through on what He has called us to do, and we'll bring glory, not just bringing glory to Him, but also doing what He has called us to do. So I hope that you would make time to find out how you can make a difference today. Thank you, and God bless you.